Welcome back to Win with Money. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. I don't run ads. I don't know anything on the show. So I appreciate you guys listening. If you get value from this, please comment. Go give me like a rating and review. Comment on there. And then take a screenshot or share it with a friend. Screenshot it. Post it on your social media story, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you like to use. And share it with a friend. You guys, I really appreciate that. And it helps me reach to other people because I don't run ads. I don't do anything. This is all organic. And the whole focus and goal with this is to add value and help you guys, help everybody. Let's win, right? Win with money. That's why we call it Win with Money. You guys, you're going to see the topic is the new money mindset. And that is something I really like because for me to grow and develop financially, I've had to create a new money mindset. Now, what does that mean? What that means is what you tolerate is exactly what you have. So that new mindset, that new belief, that new understanding is going to create the reality that you live in. I want to paint kind of a story. Have you guys ever noticed somebody that is in the same position or lifestyle or job or career as you, but they make more money? And you're like, why? That's a big thing that I've noticed as my wife and I, when we first got married, people our age made way more money. Well, one thing I noticed is their parents were very successful and made, good money at a very young age, and they do now even more. And so it created a standard, a new money mindset outside of the norm, outside of the standard. And they just automatically thought that was normal. And so they made more money. And they were doing way better than my wife and I. And because I like this stuff, because I nerd out over this stuff, what does it take to become financially, independent and successful, have financial freedom? What does that take? I've constantly, for as long as I can remember, been studying and analyzing and looking at these things. I can be at a friend's house and I'm looking and picking up on these things. Why is that? Well, it's because they believe and they understand that's who they are and that's what they deserve. That's the only thing they're going to tolerate. And if they are in a position or an opportunity or a career or a job or a business, whatever their situation, if they are not in a specific opportunity that will create that standard, they will subconsciously go find it elsewhere. It is the craziest thing. So I want to help you guys create a new money mindset and create a better financial standard within your life so that you can achieve those financial goals and dreams that you have. Because this is the honest truth. The only reason why you are not making more, collecting more money, is because you don't believe it. You don't believe you deserve it. You don't believe you can. You are tolerating where you are. And I know that sounds crazy and some people may take it kind of offensive, but you're tolerating it. And so how do we create a new standard? Well, I want to share one thing first. Maybe you guys have heard this. I think I talked about it in the last episode. But I have a story around money that when I finally understood it and broke through it, my income increased significantly. When I was in high school, so here's the story. When I was in high school, they did this program thing, whatever. They had tables and booths around and everybody was to go around. They gave us a checkbook and a career and an income and all this, right? And you had to go around to each one of the booths and pay your bills, which is kind of a cool concept, right? Taught us how to write a check and how to pay bills and kind of getting a concept of oh man, you got to make your house payment, you got to make your car payment, your insurance and taxes and all these things, and giving us concept of our parents make $60,000 a year. Well, it doesn't go as far as you think. So it was a cool concept. The only bad part about it is they based our salary off our GPA. Any of you that know me, guys, I'm not a school person. I wouldn't go back to high school for $1 billion if you gave me $1 billion. I did not enjoy it. I get more value and satisfaction outside of high school. I'd never go back. I wasn't a very good student. I just didn't like it. So I didn't have a good GPA. I struggled in school. So they told me I was going to make around $40,000 a year. And that pissed me off. Let's be honest. It made me mad, but I remember going and doing things I couldn't buy as nice a house as some of my friends because they had a 3.5 GPA, And so they had a $70,000 income. So they were buying a nicer house on the freaking paper that you bought your house from, and the payment, and nicer vehicles. And I'm like, this is total BS. And I remember how much it bugged me. Well, I didn't understand back then the subconscious programming that does. And it programmed into me that I make $40,000 a year. Well, years into business, I realized, you guys, my business was making more than $40,000 a year, but I was only paying myself $40,000 a year. And I noticed this. And a friend told me one day, he's like, dude, just pay yourself more. He's like, just rewrite that program, like rewrite that for yourself and pay yourself more. And I'm like, holy crap, that's how easy it is. Now, I understand maybe for you guys, it isn't that easy to where maybe you're not self-employed. You know, you can't just go to your employer and be like, hey, you're only paying me $48,000 a year. Well, I want to make 60, so you need to start paying me 60. Probably won't go very good. But if you go to him and say, I'd like to make 60, him or her, I'd like to make $60,000 a year. What could I do for you in your company to get there? Like, give me a map and I'm going to execute the map. So there's a little advice for you. I'd love if my team did that with me. So that was my story. And I've sat here and thought, like, I wanted to make more. I desired to collect more money. Now, this is a mindset thing, you guys. We can't make money. Like, it is illegal to make money. So a mindset shift that would be good for you to understand is I would like to collect. So if you're making $60,000 a year and you'd like to make $100,000 a year, see, I said it right there. So if you're like, hey, I collect $60,000 a year, I'd like to collect $100,000 a year. That term, that phrase, that language, our subconscious and our conscious mind understands it better, because it is illegal for me to go buy a money printing machine. Like, I'd go to prison, right? Fabricated money is illegal. But collecting more money, earning more money. And so all my goals now, I write, I collect. I am collecting, like in the present, right? And so that's one thing. So I want to give you some advice on how to instill and install a new money mindset. And it's going to go back to a very, very basic thing, and one that I didn't understand and grasp before. You see, I hear and have heard and listened to and read all the time, you need to write your goals down every day. Every day. And I never understood why. Well, the reason why is because that is instilling into us. It is creating a new standard, a new mindset, okay? The new money mindset, right? In anything that you desire in life, you need to be writing those goals down every single day. So how do I instill? Like, how could you guys instill? So if you were collecting $60,000 a year and you want to collect $100,000 a year, you need to get really specific with the dollar amount. You know, if you want to collect $95,000 a year, great, put 95. If you want to collect 110, 120, you want to collect 75, like, get very specific. Like, our mind, who we are, understands being specific, and it's something that it can grasp to. So write down what it is that you want. And you need to write down what it is that you want, not what you don't want. Because if you say, well, I don't want to work this job and make this money anymore. Well, great. You say, I want to work a job where I collect $100,000 a year. You guys, this is going to take some reprogramming. Maybe it's going to take a career change. It's going to take some courage, right? Because where you are now, you guys, if you don't make change, if you don't grow, change is hard. It cripples us. It cripples people in America as they're like, I hate change. Guess what? You have to change. You are going to continue to get the same results as you always have if you don't change. So I can't stand when people say, oh, it takes money to make money. No, it doesn't. Money can help if you start collecting more money and then you invest that money. Cool. Yeah, your money can earn more money, but it takes courage. Courage is the number one factor. And that has been so true in my life, my personal life, my business life, my financial life, all of them. It takes courage. You guys, I took very, 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 very little money and made a multiple six-figure company. Most of the time I spent $0. I would literally grind and hustle, and when other people were spending money, I was like, I'm gonna go figure out how to not spend money on. So when people are like, oh, it takes money to make money, no, it's not. If you truly want to collect more money, earn more money, be financially secure, like, you will find a way. And I'm living proof. You're looking at it and listening to it. Because when my wife and I got married, I made less than $1,000 a month. and I've grown significantly from there. So it takes courage. So you need to write down what it is that you want. I want to collect, or like I want $100,000 a year. Like that's the goal. Whatever your goal is, whether it's 60, whether it's 100, whether it's a million, I don't care. You guys need to find this, what is true for you. Not what your spouse wants you to make, not what your mom and dad want you to make, not what your cousin wants you to make, not what your neighbor and your best friend and people on the internet tell you what you should make. What do you want? What is important to you? Okay, that's number one, is you need to write down what it is that you want. How much money do you want to collect? Number two is write it in the present. Because if you say, I will collect $100,000 a year, when is I will? When is that? Is that in 2024? Is that in 2025? Is that 2036? Is it 2050? Like I will, I will die. When? I don't know. Like I know it's gonna happen. It's for everybody. Taxes and death, right? That's the only guarantee. That was kind of an extreme example, but if you write I will, but listen to how powerful this is. I collect $100,000 a year by 12/31/2024. So I collect $100,000 a year by December 31st, 2024. You guys, this works. I wrote a goal in 2022. I was going to, my wife wanted the new Grand Cherokee L, the third row Jeeps. And in 2022, we were building our house. And I wrote this goal daily. My wife is driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee L, a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. I wrote it just like that by 12/31. Guys, I bought it for her like December 20 something, like just a few days before Christmas, before we went, that was her Christmas present. And so I know that this works because I use it all the time. I collect $100,000 a year by 12/31/2024. You need to write down the present and when. Like, when are you going to accomplish this? Don't get caught up in the how. Don't get caught up in the how. That how is none of your business. You guys, I write for my business. I write a goal that is 10 times what I made in 2023 for my business. I wrote a goal 10 times. I 10x that goal. And I don't know how to accomplish it, but guess what? We have made so much progress towards that. Okay, so don't focus on the how. That's none of your business. Just focus on what it is that you want and allow the universe, the earth, your mind, everything to go to work. You know how everybody says coincidence? That's a coincidence, or what? I don't even know all the other terms. It's the universe. It's God. It's everything coming together, aligning with the goals and the dreams that you have. So write it in the present. If your goal is to make $100,000 a year, I collect $100,000 a year by 12/31/2024. And open your mind. Open your mind to the possibilities. And when you write that goal below it, say how. How could I collect $100,000 a year? Who do I have to become? What do I have to do? Right? Start challenging your mind and growing into those things. Like, this is a new money mindset. This is a secret of the wealthy. Because I'm teaching you here. I've spent tons of money, gone to tons of trainings and courses, and this is such a simple thing that you could start to do today. Number 3 is to write it morning and night. Write those things. Like, get really specific what it is that you want. Write it in the present and do it morning and night. And believe it, feel it, internalize it. Okay? And this will create a new money mindset inside of yourself, which is going to create a new standard. I want you guys to think about your life. Like, when you graduated high school, the thought of money and bills and car payments and all those things was like, holy crap, how do people pay for these things? Like, I remember that. I remember when I graduated and I was on my own, I was like, holy flip. Like, stuff's expensive. And this was clear back in 2012. Like, stuff wasn't near as expensive as it is today, right? Well, you just grow into it. It becomes a new standard. So do you want that new standard to be created quickly? Or do you want to wait a long time and be like, well, I get an annual raise of 3%. I'm making $60,000 a year. It's going to take me till I'm 63 years old to make $100,000 a year, right? I don't even know the math. But you guys, success loves speed. Challenge those things. Success loves speed. Money loves speed. Money loves attention. You want to really get good with this? create a wealth creation plan. Create a wealth creation plan. And in that plan, create a new money mindset. Like really internalize that new money mindset and go through these things. Like, guys, remember, number one is write down what it is that you want. Get really specific and clear with what it is that you want. How much do you want to collect every year? Like really write that down. Number two is write it in the present. I collect $100,000 a year by December 31st, 2024. You have no clue what the possibilities are. Number three is write that and speak it out loud morning and night. You guys, I do that. I have a vision board in my office. It's a black board mounted right in my closet. I have some pictures on there, and then I wrote some things. And I read it out loud morning and night. My wife's right there. And every time I read it, she's like, heck yeah. Like, I love that because it's encouraging. And now she knows what I'm working towards. I know what she's working towards. We're excited together. We're growing together. And we're creating a new standard, a new financial standard, and a family tree. And we're expanding and growing because you're either growing or you're dying. There's no in between. There's no like, oh, we're just maintaining. Nah, guess what? If you're maintaining, some freaking thing's gonna happen. The transmission's gonna go out, a kid's gonna get hurt, you're gonna have a medical bill come up, a freaking tooth's gonna go bad like I've had. But guess what? That crap happens and I'm like, who cares? Moving forward. Like you are growing or you're dying. And I don't know about you, but I wanna grow. I want to grow. So you guys, this is some advice that I've used. It's taken me a long time to understand this, how powerful it is, especially that writing it down in the present and like believing. You know, I even do strategies or exercises where I'll say, okay, if I got $1 billion today, how would I spend it? Like, and I write it out. I'm like, I would buy this house and I'd buy this shop and I'd buy these vehicles and this ranch and these tractors and take my family on this vacation and like expand my mind into abundance because it's everywhere. Because you can open your arms and look around. There's so much money. There's so much going on. There's so much abundance in this world. Why are we not opening ourselves to receive it? Okay, this new money mindset is an opportunity for you to take in all of this abundance in a small way and to continue to expand and grow from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it works. It works. I'm here to tell you. So go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I'm telling you right now, go do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to the show. And you guys, I want you to win with money. I want you to win with money. Okay? You guys have a wonderful day. I would like to put this out there. If you guys are listening to this, I would like to share that I wrote a book. It's a small book, like 10 pages. It's actually an ebook. And it talks about, you know, this type of stuff, financial education and knowledge. And I put some of the most important and key principles in there that have helped me financially. I'd love to share that with you guys. It's free, no cost. Send me an email. Just send me an email, Jared, Jared, at realjaredbriggs.com. Send me an email at jared@realjaredbriggs.com or go on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel, Jared Briggs Win with Money. Send me a message there, connect with me. You can also find my links where you can request the book yourself, but I'd love to send it to you guys personally. So send me an email at jared@realjaredbriggs.com and I will send that with you guys. You guys have a wonderful day and win with money.